There we go. We are live. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Game Week 12 Wildcard Team podcast. With me today, I've got Rushant and Abin. How are you guys doing?
Good. Yeah, good.
Nice, nice, nice.
It's been a long time with the international games, but
I know, right? It's been a long time. But don't worry. Now we've got until, I think, March or something. We don't have any international breaks. So we should be fine. A lot of games to come. 10 game weeks in 40 days, which is going to be really hectic. And we will try and cover you as much as possible. Except for maybe during Christmas time, depending on these guys' availability as well. We'll have to see around that time. But today, there's a lot to discuss, especially about Spurs assets. Let me quickly go over the agenda. We have the managers team, season ticker, last 4 game weeks, defense, attack. We'll do a wildcard team as well. Price changes, combined panel team, and also if we have some time, discuss about player stats. Now, let's quickly start on Abin because he's got to go and come back again. He got 74 points. Abin, you want to talk about your team?
yeah, well, I was lucky, kind of. I still have Aspilicueta. I don't know why I've had Aspilicueta for so long, because I keep hoping that he'll be okay, and eventually plays and benefit from all of Chelsea's good run, but he just doesn't start. So I've lost like 0.2 in value in him, and he's now, now he's just like dead wood. So he has to I need to get rid of him this week. But otherwise, it was a good game week. I brought James in. I got that. I think, I only made that one change last week. I think I've got 2 free hits coming next week. So I think everyone has done well as expected. Cancelo is just a beast. Ramsdale is coming through for me the last couple of days. Plenty of clean sheets, doing crazy saves. So and the rest is good. Vardy still hasn't delivered for me ever since I bought him. 3 games in, so he's been a pain. So him and Aspilicueta has been a pain that I've brought in a couple of weeks ago. So that delivered nothing for me. That's why I'm quite behind you for that reason.
Well, at least when you started Aspilicueta, even though he got subbed out, Livramento was always coming in and giving you the returns. Yeah. So I guess it kind of pays off.
Yeah, I know, but I need to get rid of him. But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. Cool. So, yeah, Livramento, James, Cancelo, strong team, strong backline. Foster, a lot of people had Foster on the bench. Rafinha delivering. It's just the front line that didn't deliver, and I guess that's the same thing for a lot of people. And we'll have a lot of discussion about that as well later today, because there are a lot of strikers who are not delivering at all, and we're wondering, what do we do?
That's right.
If only we could play 5-5-0.
That's right.
If we could play 5-5-0, I would have done it last week. But yeah. So yeah, that's my team. That's Abin's team, 74. He's ranked top 54k now, 52k. So still a long way to go. But what's your goal by the end of Christmas or by the start of the year? Where do you want to
be? I mean, keep within the 50k at least. I mean, this is my second time playing FPL, so the goal for the year is top 100k. So, but if I can stay in the top 50k, that'll be good.
Okay, cool. So 10 game weeks in 40 days. We'll see. There's a lot to do. A lot of changes, so we'll discuss about that. All right, do you want to go and come back? Or... All right, sweet. Up next is mine, 68 points. Sanchez, red card, unlucky. James, Cancelo, Trent, and Chilwell, backline. Midfield of Mbeumo, Foden, Salah, captain, Rafinha, Smith Rowe, delivering as well. Antonio on the striker, the one and only striker. And Foster on the bench, 11 points, unlucky. That's like a 12-point swing difference between Sanchez and Foster, and then Livramento as well on the bench, which I kind of thought he would have got something, and he did, but unfortunately I could only play 4 at the back line. If only I could play 5-5-0 like I mentioned. Now, not too bad for me. Green arrow. The only thing I'm wondering is how to get in a few Spurs assets, because I think that's what everyone is looking at, and I'm not sure who I really want to bring in. And also I've been testing, like trying to bring in Ronaldo and fit in Son and all, which is a bit harder unless I downgrade the defense quite a bit.
Yeah.
Even like a small downgrade won't do. I'll have to downgrade quite a bit. So I'm not sure whether I want to do that, given that they are the ones who've been delivering for me so far. So that's the stop. Anyway, that's my game week. Moving on. Rushant, 52.
Yeah, terrible game week, huh? Yeah, I mean, Sanchez red card is pretty bad with Jed Steer as my backup, which isn't ideal. Yeah, I mean, nothing really special here in this team. Just a poor performance and average. Still above the overall average, but still had a red arrow. Salah captain, again, no big difference. I think everyone kind of went with him. I think the only person who actually give some returns was Cancelo and Rafinha. Everyone else was pretty average. And yeah, I think I'm just hoping for a good bounce back week next week, but we'll see.
The Salah captain now, there's been 2 game weeks where he's gone just an assist. And even the assist from here was exceptional. He just had to touch the ball. That's all he did.
Yeah.
And Trent delivered the rest.
Yeah.
Do you think Salah is still like that perma captain?
Well, I mean, stats are showing that way, but again, like it's do you want to go with the majority or do you want to get that risk? That's the risk you're gonna take. I still think he will be the favorite for a lot of the game weeks, but in saying that, not necessarily. I think FPL is all about having a bit of fun as well, on top of just having a good score. So I think if there's a decent other option which kind of makes sense to you, depending on the game week, you'll have captain options other than Salah. So no, I wouldn't say he's a perma captain. He's a very, very strong captain's choice. I would say that, but I'm not going to settle for him because it kind of makes it boring, doesn't it?
Yeah, fair enough. And also it makes it less like the chances of climbing up the ranks are not easy as well when everyone's captaining the same guy. Yeah, fair enough. All right, on to the season ticker, because Spurs are the talking point, and there's a reason they are the talking point because they're right on top of that season ticker, followed by Burnley, which may not. But then Liverpool, really good as well. Man United also there, but which assets do we get? When do we actually get them? Because of the fact of how they're playing and everything. So there's a few questions on that. And who do we get? Is it only Ronaldo, or would you look into doubling up? Because I know right now it doesn't show, but from 16 or something onwards, there's a really good run. City following behind that. Right at the bottom, you've got West Ham, Leeds, Arsenal, Watford, Everton. Now, a lot of us have Arsenal players as well. You've got Ramsdale. No, you have
got
Sanchez.
0 Arsenal.
Yeah, you have 0 Arsenal.
Yeah.
I've got one Arsenal. Abin has Smith Rowe as well. No, Abin has Ramsdale. So, few questions on whether Ramsdale actually maybe could be still a good goalkeeper option. And we'll also look into everyone's got Sanchez, red card, a few other goalkeeper options as well. Anyone here you're targeting? Any teams?
Well, I mean, the top 5 teams are pretty good. I think finally the fixtures on paper have turned towards the top clubs, United, City and stuff as well. So we had Bruno and Ronaldo early on in the season, and then obviously United went through that really rough patch, which we dropped everyone. But now, you're right. Now begs that question of, when do we bring in the United players and who do we bring in as well? I mean, look, if you look at the fixture ticker, the Watford game is good. I think it looks very, very good for United, even though they're in a pretty average form right now.
Yeah.
After that, Chelsea, Arsenal, Crystal Palace, I'm actually a bit concerned, to be honest.
Same. That's what.
Chelsea is
not the best, right?
Chelsea is top of the game in the defense. Arsenal is improving. Palace beat City. I mean, they're not. Yeah, on paper looks okay, but they're teams that are trending upwards rather than trending downwards. So a team like United that I would say is actually trending downwards. Versus some of these teams who are actually in decent form. I'm not rushing, to be honest, to bring in Ronaldo right now. I just feel like it's a wait and watch. It's not going to be as easy as it looks like on the season ticker.
Because, what do you call? What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. If this was before the season started, and if I saw those fixtures, I would have gone, Arsenal, Crystal Palace, Chelsea would have been a hard game or whatever. Yeah, okay. But I would have been like, one game, it's fine. You can hold Ronaldo for that one game. But now it's like, okay, Watford,
it's crazy. I know when I did my wildcard in game 5, my plan was, this was before Lukaku got injured, was, all right, I'm bringing in Lukaku right now. And in game week 12, I'm swapping Lukaku for Ronaldo. That was my game plan. I think we spoke about it in a podcast, and that was my game plan, which I had in mind in game week 5. Here we are now in game week 12, and I'm questioning myself.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Because I also was like, okay, game week 12, I'll bring in Ronaldo for the Watford game. captain him because he's a really good captaincy choice against that game. And then obviously Chelsea won, it's fine. But then Arsenal, Crystal Palace, Norwich, like an entirely really good run.
Yeah.
And now Spurs have got Conte, and now it's like, ooh, maybe you could probably go for like a Heung-min Son or a Harry Kane during that time. Because like, look at Spurs fixtures, right? Leeds, Burnley, Brentford, Norwich. Brentford we would have thought was a tougher fixture, but now with the loss of Raya, they defensively don't look the best as well. So I'm like, ooh, that's a fixture run that Spurs now with a really good manager as well could probably pounce on.
It's true. I mean, look, the Spurs, yes, I don't deny the fact that it's time now. This is the best time to bring in the Spurs assets. However, there's a couple of things that's, kind of, I'm a bit worried about Spurs, and I'm trying to be negative right now rather than being, fixtures. And let's go with Spurs. Firstly, Harry Kane.
Yeah, he's bad.
He's just, with the situation with the team of, where he was before the season and how he wanted to get traded. His performance so far for the first 11 game weeks isn't anything spectacular. And you can see that for England, he's scored 2 hat-tricks over the last couple of weeks in the international break, showing that he fits well in England and, he wants to play for England. When it comes to Spurs, I'm hoping that the change in manager works for his favor, but I think for him, it's more than the manager, it's the organization. Which,
true.
If he's at his prime, I would be, no questions, Harry Kane over Ronaldo right now. Right now, with that Spurs and the fact that he doesn't, it kind of feels like he didn't want to play, right? Beginning of the season, he didn't want to play for Spurs. So that is one thing. Second thing, Conte, yes, he's a good manager, a great manager. Has he ever been viewed as a very attacking manager? Do you know what I mean? Like,
not really.
That's the thing as well. So. Like, I think Spurs will be defensively much better against these teams as well. I think their defensive assets would be very, very good. And the way he utilizes his wing backs is great. But I'm
his strikers
still...
did get returns.
He did. I'm just still waiting to see one or two games where I'm super convinced by the Spurs attack.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that's the thing. Because obviously, Harry Kane back-to-back hat-tricks in the international break, and I think you have to take into context that those were some pretty bad national
San
teams.
Marino, I've never heard of a single player from San Marino recently.
Exactly. And also the fact that the England national team have way better players in terms of creative options than the Spurs team. So the amount of like that midfield that can deliver for Harry Kane it's like set up for Harry Kane to like bang it in the net. But
100%.
In terms of Spurs, they are like a lack of creativity and all of that. Which is true. And that's why I'm like wondering, okay, so maybe and there's also the stats that Harry Kane hasn't been great for Spurs, and Spurs itself, attacking wise, bottom 4. We'll have a look at that later, but like they're pretty poor in terms of stats as well for attack. And I'm wondering now, okay, we could probably upgrade. I think Heung-min Son is a good option because he's always looked good, even when like during that last few games, he still looked the much better player out of the two. So I think and he's 2 million cheap as well, right? So you can do a lot with that funds as well as elsewhere. And we're talking about, we're not sure whether we want to get Ronaldo, but we could probably get a Heung-min Son and maybe a Diogo Jota as well. You could upgrade one of your other midfielders to a Diogo Jota.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think the problem right now is like, yes, I think on top of the fact that, having Kane, Son, Ronaldo is really good, is the fact that with a player who's almost 13 million taking up an active spot in your team every week for the rest of the season, you need to work your budget around the remaining 80 odd million.
That's
and can you afford that is the big question now over the next upcoming weeks, where managers need to decide which players they want to go forward with, and you're going to sacrifice one of the big premium players. It's physically, I wouldn't say physically impossible, but you're going to have pretty much no defense if you really decide to go with Kane, Ronaldo, Son, Salah, and Jota or whatever.
Yeah, that's given that the defenders are the ones who are
scoring points. After Salah, the next 3 people all defenders, like
defenders, in terms of points,
James,
like Cancelo, James, So the defenders are the ones giving you the points.
Exactly,
the question is
exactly. So
do you want to go away from a tried and tested system to a team who stats wise haven't really proven it.
And I mean, traditionally midfielders have had the most appeal. So I think Son. I mean, in
'cause of the
comparison at
extras.
this price point, I would think he's a must have if he starts delivering. And I think he'll be a really good option. Liverpool, I mean, that's probably the only team in the top 3 that I can convincingly say, they have proved against the top teams.
Yeah.
They have a solid attack. They're in insane form right now.
Yeah.
Those 6 fixtures look like a piece of cake to me.
Yeah, true. I would say that as well.
I know I'm talking about the Arsenal team against the United team as a hard fixture, but Arsenal against the Liverpool, I don't think. I think, I mean, like Arsenal is good. It'll be a good game. It'll be a good game.
Yeah,
I think it'll be a very good game.
Because Arsenal have improved
100%.
defensively, but
I just think Liverpool are playing on such a different level right now that it's going to be hard. But definitely that'll be the game to watch this weekend.
Yeah, that's what we'll have to see how that goes. With a lot of us potentially captain Salah. Now, moving on, I added some memes as well that I took from the Twitter. So I've credited the people as well who added. This is from SideNet, FPL SideNet. Current people's, maybe potentially a lot of people are like this, the FPL squad international break, especially with Harry Kane and Heung-min Son doing returns as well. So maybe you're looking to tear up your team. We don't know. I took another one, which this one I kind of like laughed at. That's UK team, but like I looked at the price changes and people haven't gone up, thankfully.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking to bring in players and I'm like, who?
I actually saw that some similar memes about people who activated their wildcard hoping for price changes.
Prices, but nothing
happened. I was kind of worried too, actually. I brought in, I was thinking about bringing some players. I was worried that they might go up in value. They didn't, so
but
I'm sitting on it right
hardly.
now.
Yeah, that's what. So I'm like, phew. So that's one.
Yeah.
Arbin's back just in time.
Just in time for the memes.
Yeah, just in time for the memes. We're looking at, so this was the meme that was before international break and your FPL squad. And then this is the price changes because there haven't been many price changes this international break. Oh, you're muted, Arbin, by the way. Because I had to mute it because Benji was barking. But because compared to the last international break, I was able to capitalize on price changes and build team squad value. But this time there hasn't been any.
Yeah.
And then obviously this is the other one which is going to upcoming. Like this is going to happen to us.
Yeah.
We had decent breaks and now we're just going to get smashed with 10 game weeks.
It's going to be crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
No social distancing.
Yeah, no social distancing. Yeah. So this is what's upcoming. Now, just to bring back the season ticker for Arbin, Tottenham right on top there, followed by Burnley, Liverpool, United. City at the bottom 4, we got West Ham, Leeds, Arsenal, Watford and Everton. And we were kind of discussing about Harry Kane and all of those teams. Now, this is the last 4 game weeks defense. Southampton number 1. Would you have thought that Southampton had the best defense in the last 4 game weeks? But they do. Followed by Crystal Palace. I would have thought they were getting relegated at the start of the season.
I know.
But no.
Vieira's done a great job with them. Some of their...
Yeah.
What do you... go back to the previous one?
The season
ticker. Yeah. So what do you reckon? What did you guys reckon of Conte's first game in the league?
So for me, I thought it was a really good test that Everton actually turned up because it was a proper test to see whether... Because before that, Everton had like some pretty poor results and all of that, right? Yeah. But actually, like in that game, Everton were dominating. Yeah. And I would have felt like Everton were the unlucky team to like not get away with all 3 points in that
Exactly.
game.
That's what I don't think is a straight... Exactly what I thought. So I don't know if it was a very straight decision to just bring in all Spurs players in for this hot run of fixtures. But I mean, you do have to believe in Conte anyway because you know what he's capable of.
Yeah, that's what like Rushant and I were discussing. We're like, we're not really looking like there's no specific rush to bring in Spurs players because they haven't kind of like shown that performance yet. And we were also talking about Kane and the fact that the England national team have much better quality of players to set up for Kane compared to Spurs. Yeah. So that's just another thing to discuss.
Like Kane's not going to score a hat-trick every game here.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing. Not every team is San Marino.
Yeah, exactly. Because the teams in the Prem are much more stronger that he's going to come up against. And we were also speaking about Man United in terms of Ronaldo because like before we would have been like, oh, let's get Ronaldo in for like game week 12 or maybe even after the Chelsea game. But now we're like, ooh, Chelsea, Arsenal could be a tough fixture. Crystal Palace, we've just seen that they're second in that last 4 game weeks defense. Could be a tough fixture. And now we're like, ooh, there's probably no rush to actually bring in a Cristiano Ronaldo right there.
Roy will be happy with Arsenal's, and who knew that they would be so dependable with
I know, right?
their
He's been telling me
defense.
for the last few
When I
weeks
saw him at the
that
start of the
like,
season, like they're going to be relegated, 3 games, 3 losses or whatever. But now
yeah,
look at them,
and now look
above
at them.
United. So
Oh my God, disappointed. Oh well, what to do? So Chelsea on next and City
I
as
don't
well.
want to see this slide.
Tottenham
Let's
there.
skip the slide. I don't want to see whose team are coming last year.
Oh no, exactly right. Look at that, so bad. Like Norwich, Newcastle, and Watford are way higher in terms of. Well, they're still pretty bad,
embarrassing.
but United last 4 game weeks, bottom of defense. I wouldn't get any defender
Is that partly?
from
I mean,
United.
probably mostly because of that Liverpool 5-0, which is obviously didn't help.
No, so the Liverpool the Liverpool final does contribute because it was in the last 4, but even before, because that's still not going to this thing, right? Because we still lost.
Yeah.
What's the last 4? It was Liverpool, Leicester,
Yeah.
Spurs,
Yeah, we consider high scoring, like so
and
2-0.
City.
Yeah,
Yeah,
City.
so like, we got, like,
there's what 4 against Leicester, 5 against Liverpool,
yeah,
2 against City.
then City.
Yeah.
But then this is sorted by minutes per XG, right? So we got battered against City in terms of. So City should have had way more goals. That's why minutes per XG is very low, because De Gea basically kept the scoreline respectable. So but that's the thing, right? We're looking at it from a team's defensive perspective. Even though we got like the scoreline is high, but like the fact is that they're conceding the chances like that. Josh King against United defense, anyone? You never know.
Triple captain.
Triple captain. So that's the defense. Having said about that defense, let's just quickly go to Sanchez replacements, because Rushant has Sanchez, I have Sanchez. Abin doesn't have. Abin has Ramsdale. Are you a bit worried, Abin, with Arsenal's fixture run like this here with Ramsdale?
Nah, I mean, of course I'm worried, but something I'm going to do about it.
Okay,
I mean, because I think this is one of the. I won't put Foster in unless Ramsdale is injured, because I remember one mistake I made last year was I used to have 2 starting keepers all the time, and I always used to get to make a mistake of having the wrong one in the starting lineup. I would get a huge problem with that. So I'm just going to trust myself and just leave it as Ramsdale, and see what he does. I mean, he doesn't get a clean sheet, fine, but he makes a hell of a lot of saves.
That's good.
Fair enough. Yeah. So I've sorted this by last 4 game weeks. Ramsdale right there on 3rd, followed by, interestingly, De Gea, 5 million. 4th, this is probably like one of the cheapest that De Gea has been as well. Usually a 6 million keeper, now at 5 million, and even then he's still not a conversation. Like, he's not in the conversation for someone that you'll get. Krul right on top of there. Well, expected is Norwich.
Are you what is your plan? Are you keeping?
So Rushant has Sanchez still. I had Sanchez. Sanchez is gone. Goodbye. I have looked into Guaita.
Yeah, I was going to,
because Crystal Palace's fixtures are good.
I was going to mention him as he was my standout guy in this list. Yeah.
Other one is McCarthy is also there, who's in this list. So this is, I've added everyone who was on that list for the last 4 game weeks, who has also a pretty good like setup coming up. Southampton has some good fixtures, but I've already got Liverpool, and I'm like, that's enough defense for me from Southampton.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Yeah, that's a good pick. I would have him if I had the choice. Well,
I think I was looking into Guaita as well, and especially because obviously after Crystal Palace kept the thing, I was looking into Crystal Palace defenders first. I couldn't find anyone worthy of playing. Mitchell, yeah. So I was looking at the keeper, and Guaita actually looked good, but I don't think I'm gonna transfer Sanchez out this week. I'm actually gonna go with probably no goalkeeper this week.
Or Steer, and hope that Steer starts.
Oh, Steer's not gonna play. I don't think he's gonna play. But I just think that I've already made my transfer. I don't see a point in being a -4.
Fair enough. Okay. Because Guaita is not the player who's going to get you. He's like a Sanchez basically in terms of he'll get you those clean sheets.
Palace's defense has improved a lot.
High.
Again, I'm not super convinced, but because yes, they beat City, but I still would think that Brighton's got a better defense than Palace.
Oh yeah, I would say so. I think Brighton do have a better defense. It's just that for the upcoming fixture run. So I think my reason was, so I think a lot of people will still go on Ramsdale, and it kind of shows like in terms of price changes and everything, Ramsdale's price is increasing quite a bit more. I just looked at it and I went, for me to climb rank, I was looking at the template, top 10k, everyone's got Ramsdale, almost everyone has Ramsdale. So me just adding another player that everyone already has is not going to like differentiate it for me.
That's true.
So I was like, okay, I need to find a differential goalkeeper. So I went with Guaita for that reason.
That's good.
That was the one specific reason that I took Guaita
And
over
hey, it
Ramsdale.
might pay off, and he might be in the top 10 in the world.
Or go the opposite way.
Yeah.
Oh, go the opposite
Or
way. Yeah,
top
exactly. That's the thing,
5,000,
right?
I
It could go.
guess.
It could go both ways. But I guess that's something you had to kind of like test and see. Anyone else you'll suggest for goalkeepers?
Not really at that $4.5 million. I mean, Raya was an option I was looking at before, but he's obviously injured and out for the season, which kind of sucks. Everyone else is too expensive for me in terms of.
Well, who's going to replace Sanchez? Isn't it?
I think it's
Yeah, I think
so. But I saw another goalkeeper also pop up recently. But yeah,
I think it'll be Steele. Steele should play.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh well.
Yeah.
So that's the goalkeeper replacement.
Based on Gaeta and McCarthy. Based on
I think Gaeta, McCarthy, or Ramsdale if you want to.
Yeah.
But so Ramsdale does make the most saves. Which is why he's most likely going to get more bonus points and everything compared to maybe a Guaita or McCarthy.
Yeah.
But the other two have been like their defense has been a bit solid the last few games.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to go with that. And Arsenal have a tough fixture, and so in the short
where's
term,
the effect of Steven Gerrard on this podcast?
Yes,
what he's going to do?
on Aston
That's
Villa.
right. We haven't talked about that yet.
That's actually a good point because a lot of managers have been fired and hired recently. Aston Villa, Steven Gerrard, Newcastle have got Eddie Howe.
And
Norwich have
Newcastle,
got
we didn't
Dean
talk about
Smith.
Newcastle.
Yeah, exactly. Callum Wilson could be an option.
Look, I think all the players that he used to have at Bournemouth, they're good shots. Callum Wilson.
Fraser and Callum Wilson.
Yeah, exactly. Like Wilson is a good option, someone I'm considering. And then, Aston Villa, let's see if he can, Gerrard can light up Emmy.
Yeah.
I can't even say his name.
Buendia.
Who?
Buendia?
Bendia. Yeah.
Casual.
The only problem.
Yeah.
The only problem with Aston Villa is the upcoming run isn't that great. So I guess it's a good way for us to look and see. But Brendan Rodgers' effect is on this Aston Villa team.
No,
from
Gerrard.
what I've
You mean Gerrard?
Gerrard, sorry, Brendan Rodgers. Oh my God, Steven Gerrard's effect. I've been reading too much about United. What Steven Gerrard's effect is on this Aston Villa, from what I've read or heard on Twitter and all of that, is that his fullbacks at Rangers. His fullbacks at Rangers were really attacking. So maybe in terms of Aston Villa, Matty Cash.
That's why I mentioned Matty Cash.
Cash a target.
Yeah.
And Cash
Could be an
played
option.
for Poland as well, right? He debuted for Poland, which is interesting.
So
A different name for Poland.
I think he got a different
Honestly,
passport,
Target and
but-
Cash have been pretty good. Like even like last season and stuff.
I mean, Target was
remember.
a good player last year. I mean,
He
last year,
was.
him
Definitely
and the goalkeeper.
Martinez,
Target,
yeah.
Mings and stuff. So, yeah, I think Aston Villa is a team where I think there's a lot of potential, and I'm very interested in looking at those two teams because whenever we talk about managers coming in and sparking a new thing, I think Newcastle with their new funds and all that stuff as well will be very interesting to watch. Again, I think it's going to be fixtures based. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So Aston Villa after they get rid of
but
them.
if anyone, that's the thing. If anyone's getting Newcastle, I think this is the 4 game weeks that you need to get it because Brentford, Norwich, and Burnley it's not going to get any easier. And after that, I think you can look into like probably replacing a Wilson with a Ronaldo or something if anyone's looking into that short-term punt. But the problem with Newcastle is they have the rest of the squad isn't that great. It's just a mediocre bunch. So and they're fighting for relegation. So we'll have to see what Eddie Howe can do. Moving on, last 4 game weeks attack. Now we spoke in the season ticker when Rusha and Abin wasn't here because that Liverpool's team is just like insanely on form. Followed by Chelsea, interestingly up there. Lukaku has been posting a bit recently saying he's all ready and fit and all of that. So will be interesting, especially Reece James' value could increase a bit more because now you have someone to actually cross the ball into. So that's another thing. Man City right on top there, West Ham as well. Bottom 4, again, Aston Villa, Norwich, Newcastle all have managerial changes. And Tottenham as well, another managerial change. Tottenham especially. Last four game
four
weeks.
of those, right?
Yeah, all four of those have had managerial changes. And it's the Tottenham assets that everyone's looking at, but their stats don't show it. So the question is, we already kind of like touched on this, whether there is a rush to actually get Kane or get Heung-min Son, or should we at least maybe just get one for the upcoming run?
I certainly want to be getting both, for sure not. But this is the point I made earlier in the podcast. It's hard to tell right now. The performance wasn't the greatest, and Everton should have taken it. But it's a conundrum. It's almost like I might wait a week to see how the first one goes.
See, that's what I was thinking, because I was like,
okay, I don't want it to be I don't want it to be another Vardy that I have, where he had good fixtures and he didn't deliver for me for the last 3 or 4. So just want to see how the Conte shapes them up in the next. I read all this stuff. How they expelled sources and improving their diets at the Spurs.
He's gone back to the Chelsea.
So that's right. So hopefully, let's see. How they shape up. I might bring one, but right now I'm hesitating to. But I mean, you can't dispel Conte's work, and he will get results eventually. Just when exactly to push the button is time will tell.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, the breakout game for Spurs could be this weekend when they're playing Leeds, and that would be the good start. I'm okay not having both those Spurs as of this week, because if they can't, like if they don't, I'm happy for them to score as much as they want to, because if they can't prove anything,
you have Son, man.
I have Son, true. Obviously, I want
I get what you mean.
In terms of like,
you have to take
general,
it on the chin and
keeping it clean, winning 3-0, 4-0, and with Son getting whatever, it's fine. But that proves that they can, have that high scoring games. But if they just win like against Leeds by say 1-0 and it wasn't convincing,
it's not convincing. Then you
kind of and with Lukaku coming back from injury, and there's Ronaldo as well. I mean, there's plenty of other options. You don't need to go for the double up on Spurs just because their fixtures look good on paper.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because that's so. While you're saying that, I had like a thought. I was like, I have one free transfer left over, and if I roll it over, so I'll have 2 next week. I was thinking there's also now the fact that Firmino is injured for Liverpool, which means it brings Jota as an option as well. And
problem with that is I would do that, but then when I saw that Robinson might be out, I might bring Tsimikas in.
Tsimikas in.
So I can't have 4 Liverpool players. So Tsimikas is a great 3.9 option, right? And then he can really free up space for somebody else that. Just for me replacing Azpilicueta with him, I'm getting at least 2 million out of that.
But how long is Robinson out for?
I'm not sure right now.
That'll be interesting as well. I think Tsimikas would be a very, very good option. At 3.9, you can't get anything better in FPL.
No, you can't. And he's really good.
And is Mane also injured?
No, Mane was pictured.
Okay,
so
training, that was just a fake by Senegal.
Probably just a knock he had.
Yeah, right.
I think Robinson will instead of wait for the pressers. There's no official news out. It was all he came off with the injury in the internationals. Yeah.
Because I was talking about if Mane and Firmino were injured, then I think Origi was another option to look at 4.9.
Yeah.
But he just won't start games. I'm not sure Klopp will ever start him. He's just like a super sub.
Well, if they don't have Mane and Firmino, I think they'll have no other option.
Oh yeah.
Probably than to play Jota and Origi. Who else will play up front? There's no one else really. Ox might play, I guess.
But it's not the same thing, right? He'll probably go with Origi.
Yeah. Mina, maybe. I don't know.
Imagine they had United's depth. And they would go crazy there.
We can learn some strikers. Give us Van Dijk. We'll take Van Dijk.
We've got a starting 11 of 11 attackers if we could.
Yeah. We'll trade Van Dijk for 3 of our attackers. Choose any 3, take them. I don't care.
Oh my god. That's the thing, right? But I think Tsimikas will be a pretty. This is here's the thing, right? Because it's December, there's a lot of games even in a short time of space. So even if he's out for 3 weeks, maybe, I'd probably bring in Tsimikas. Again, I guess we have to wait for the prices. The other thing is, by waiting this one more game week, because Conte, even though it's the international break, he wouldn't have had all the Spurs players at training. So we are not really sure he would have made much progress anyways, per se, during the international break, like, because most of the main players are not there. The other thing is, there is that ticking time bomb on Solskjaer's head in terms of, will he get sacked, will he not get sacked. There is rumors, or at least rumors are increasing, with Zidane being more likely option as well now. And if that kind of like interests me, if Zidane does become an option, I'm like, ooh, maybe the Arsenal and Crystal Palace games could actually turn into
I'm not getting excited by any of that stuff.
I'm not, but
I get let down so many times over the last the last 3 years. You know, whenever there's a good option out there, somehow he'll survive. And
true. But you have to plan for that as well, right? In terms of trying to be able to bring in a player when you need to. Because if it was any other player, it's fine, right? But the problem with Ronaldo is costs so much that you have to like restructure your team.
I mean, if that ever happens, then it'll be like next Wildcard or something.
Yeah, so we'll see. I don't know. There's a few things to kind of play around. Anyone y'all looking at in terms of bringing it specifically? No, nothing.
No specific. I think we've already discussed the Liverpool players. I mean, Chelsea players wants to watch is Lukaku again. You know, I think Lukaku, if he's back healthy and he's on the scoring cards, which I don't see is very likely, he's one player, one of the premium players, I guess, just to keep an eye out on.
All that.
West Ham's Jared Bowen. He's been okay.
Yes. He's been performing.
He's got returns in the last 4 or 5, I think. So a bit pricier, but I mean, this goes to the thing of just stocking your midfield up with all 5 of them, and then have average strikers.
One striker. Yeah. Oh, Antonio is enough at this point.
Yeah.
Now, Game Week 12 Wildcard team. Oh no. Have I not switched the slides? Oh no, I haven't switched the slides. RIP. What have I been showing? I completely missed all of this on the slides. Never mind. Cool. On the video, YouTube video. Okay, Game Week 12 Wildcard team. Let me bring it up. So we're gonna play around with the panel team. It got 60 points last week. It has a team value, I think, of 102 or something, so it should be fine. It's a bit average point of view. If we were to make a wild card, let me remove all of this. Who would you bring in? Starting from goal, maybe.
Well, put back Salah first.
No, put back Salah.
What are you doing?
Okay, put back Salah.
How dare you? How dare you do that?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'd leave Cancelo in.
You leave Cancelo in?
Trent in.
You get Trent in. So those 3 are like, at this present moment, the foundations of this
untouchable.
Game.
Then you'll probably have one of Chilwell or James.
True.
I'll probably go James.
Yeah, that's good. James is a good option too.
And then, would you have Livramento, or would you look into someone
If you already
else?
had him, keep him in, but don't bring him in for 4.5. Seems expensive now. Holy crap. Livramento.
Oh yeah, right now he's at 4.5. There have been this guy. Who is he? I don't. The only problem is, Soufal is not fit, I think, but Johnson has been playing recently with Soufal being out. So he's the only one I'm like, ooh, okay, maybe if you were to look into bringing a 4 million defender, could be good. It's just that Soufal is always there, so keep that in mind. If Tsimikas is the one who's going to play, I think I might add Tsimikas in this list. If he is basically going to, because 3.9, oh my god, you can't get anything better. Who is your 5th choice?
Someone cheapish, right? Well, let's put Livramento. Give the guy a chance. It's been doing well. Why not?
Fair enough. If you
assuming
assuming people already have him.
season.
Yeah, it could be true. So bad. Man, he should be like a starting defender at this point. Okay, in goal. Who would people go for in goal? Let's assume you have Foster as your 4 million.
Yeah. It'll be one of the ones we've said before. Fabianski, McCarthy, or Gator.
Fabianski or
Maybe
Ramsdale?
not Gator for the long run. I'll probably keep Ramsdale.
How's Southampton's fixtures? Yeah, keep Ramsdale actually, but
Southampton's fixtures. Where are Southampton?
second one.
McCarthy. There we go. Is second. Oh wow. It's a mixed bag of fixtures.
Yeah, I think we talk about Ramsdale's bonus point potential and stuff. So yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting just keeping Ramsdale.
Okay. In midfield. Now this is the area that's a bit more stacked than most places.
Well, I'll keep ESR being cheap.
Fair enough. Even with the upcoming run, wouldn't you look for
Gallagher?
Gallagher?
Wildcard, right?
Gallagher. Yeah. I'll put Gallagher.
Who? Rushan?
I'll put Son.
Wait, both Son or
Son, yeah.
okay.
And then
Let's go strikers and come back to these last two spots.
Okay.
strikers. Can I just say how disappointing Brentford has been?
Oh yeah, Tony, right?
Ryan, what has Mbemba given you anything?
Yeah.
Didn't he score a
The
goal?
only time he returned was when I took him out.
Didn't he score a goal? And
I think
He did. He scored a goal. Yeah, he did. He got offside. He was called
I
offside.
reckon Tony has to be one of the most overrated players that's been touted to bring
For this season.
This season,
He got 0.4 price though. I don't know how
he's
he
got a
got
point
it.
for us. That's because everyone is bringing him in for one reason or another. But he never. There's no returns.
Yeah, I'm lucky I didn't double up on Brentford. I probably wouldn't have done that. But if you have a double up on Brentford, I would still keep it for the Newcastle game, and then after that, you can this thing. Antonio, probably has to be right.
Is he 8.2 now?
Yeah, it's insane value. We've all had him from 7.5.
Wow.
I can't believe this panel team never had him. But anyways,
So we have 35 million. So we have roughly 7. Okay, yeah, true. We have money. Yeah, I mean, add Antonio now, I guess. Just
would you look into Callum Wilson even maybe as an option?
I would. I would.
So we're talking Wildcard. Pretty much it's going to take you till the next 10 game weeks ish. Get you through December, really.
Yeah, and ideally you need a squad as well, right? Because there's going to be a lot of games, a lot of rotation.
And one thing for sure, not going to be there's no premium striker that we'll be bringing in. Maybe Lukaku if we have to, but I mean, I'd rather fill up our midfield just to see how much value I have left for the strikers.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so you want to go back
Let's go back to midfield.
So it looks like Foden's in that team. I think I'll be inclined to keep Foden if that was an option.
Yeah, I'm going with Foden. I mean, he's in mine.
And then is there one last spot?
Diogo Jota. We can't. We have 4 Liverpool.
Oh yeah.
Look, Rafinha is always good for me. I know you think, but he's in a team that's
Rafinha's fixtures
he's the only guy that will always deliver.
Look at the fixtures.
After this,
after game week 15.
I think if you bring in Rafinha, or if you have Rafinha after game week, I think after game week 15, I think.
Okay. What about Tielemans? Show me his fixtures. No, he's injured.
Is Tielemans injured? I don't know.
Yeah.
Fixtures are a mixed bag.
Then one of the Everton players.
I wouldn't touch the Everton players though.
Just get rid of Everton players. It looks good on paper, but
they have
looks can be deceiving.
With the injuries of the
actually he's been really good. He's been Trossard for Brighton.
Yes,
I know he's been
9 and 10 last
I think
2
he's
game
got
weeks.
the most shots on target of more than Salah. I think after Salah, his shots attempt or shots on target is on par with Salah. I haven't watched any Brighton games, but maybe my stats completely wrong. But I saw something about most shots in the box.
No, but I've heard a lot of people talk about Trossard as well as an option.
Again, it depends.
The other one, obviously, we've spoken about Bowen as well, but their fixtures are not good at the moment. I think probably after the Arsenal game, Bowen could be a good option. You could probably have Smith Rowe, but Arsenal's fixtures are for a wildcard. I probably won't bring
Keep going down in the midfield. Who's in Chelsea? That
Remember how we told about Kovacic? Kovacic is injured, hamstring. Havertz is the other one.
Sticks. So it depends
But
how
I
much
think
we're
with
gonna.
this,
well, Greenwood back in.
I don't know if he's going to start.
No, he's not going to start. Let's see his fixtures.
Yeah.
Let's see how the next.
Oh, the fixtures are really good going forward.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that. I mean, you'd be dumb not to have bring a United player. You'd think.
But which one though? That's the thing.
Which one is the question? Because
Greenwood's going to come
there's
off
no
the bench
ways
now.
United will go
Yeah.
till January 16th and not deliver in one way or another.
United will. I think
Our
it's
fans
more
will
like-
not allow it. Board will not allow it.
So in that case, are you going to have Bruno or Ronaldo for the
No.
guarantee?
Oh,
Choose now and choose wisely. And tell me on Jan 16th who scored the most points, because it's probably going to be Paul
Ronaldo.
Pogba.
Ronaldo.
So you got to have Ronaldo.
Like, if I was wildcarding, I would definitely have a United player for sure. It's just
Yeah,
there's
sure,
no
yeah.
way with the history of our club. There was no ways they will.
Yeah, I think
No, they won't go under. Yeah,
They will not.
I don't deny that. I think it's more like which player and who you're going to choose. Because if you choose that player, you're pretty much stuck with that player for a while. It's not as easy to
I
swap
would go Ronaldo.
Yeah, I think Ronaldo makes sense. Makes a lot of
The
sense.
other thing is, again, we don't know how Solskjaer is going to react to this, because I mean, we're talking about how crazy the fixture run is. Will Ronaldo play those games?
I mean, he has to.
I mean, he has
Because
to. Remember,
the one time he dropped him, we lost.
I know, correct, but we just don't know.
The one time you don't give penalties to him, the penalty taker.
That's right, exactly right.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think I might go with Ronaldo because he's like, even if the team is shit, he'll find a way to score.
Okay, put him in.
And now we realize the point that we have 14 minutes to spend over 3 players.
Yeah, well, now it's just
physically possible unless
like-
you have Davis and Guidehart from Leeds as your strikers. Whatever those guys. There's $4 million.
So we get like a very cheap striker, right?
Geldhart and,
A 4.5.
and
Yeah.
Davis from Aston Villa.
Right, I know why you brought Gellert in. I also thought when I watched that cameo that he did,
That game.
I actually was
Yeah,
thinking
yeah,
the
yeah.
same thing of bringing him in.
Yeah.
Like he had a cracking 10-15 minutes. And I was like,
Yeah, I
I
know.
was like, who is this kid? I need him in my team. And then I saw you brought him in. I was like, okay.
He didn't play, unfortunately.
So this is the
But
problem,
it
right?
was fine because
Like, I think we can
yeah.
already see here right here that we're talking about Christmas period being very busy and you want to have a squad.
Yeah.
Already right now in our wildcard team itself, we're struggling trying to fit a team that all 15 players are going to play. When you have Ronaldo,
Yeah,
and
that's
his
the
team.
thing.
That's the problem. Do you know what I mean? Like when you have these expensive premium players, and this is the problem everyone's going to have over the upcoming weeks. I struggle right now looking at my team like I can't. My team is done. I can't do much.
Yeah.
I mean, that's right. It's like, you got premium in Son, Foden, Ronaldo.
And even Trent. Trent's
Yeah.
a premium player. Do you know what I mean?
You just have to, pick,
You try. I mean, I did the same thing. I tried playing around as well.
I tried. I couldn't fit it all. Yeah.
Unless I hadn't fit in a 4-point-something million player, it was impossible.
So here's the thing, right? For that fixture run, I still think you need a. That's the problem. I don't know what United. If I was to go, I would. I
Rashford.
think Rashford also could be a good
But
option
then, are you
as the United
like,
option.
really, are you that ballsy to go with that Ronaldo in your team? Do you have the courage? Do you have that
don't think so.
courage to go with that Ronaldo in your team?
I think if you don't have Ronaldo, I think for the next 4 game weeks, I wouldn't get Ronaldo.
True. But let's talk about if we did a wild card in game week 15. Let's talk about that right now.
If we did a wildcard in game week 15, or then you have Ronaldo definitely.
And so in your team right
But-
now, let's pretend that's your wild card team. How are you going to fit in Ronaldo right now?
you'll have to get rid of,
Everyone in your team.
No, I'll probably
then
downgrade
you have to
like a
question.
Cancelo.
You have to question Son. To be honest, I find
Oh,
I
yeah,
find
yeah,
him
yeah.
very hard to value at 10 plus million. It's when I compare it to other like for likes. It's
This sounds crazy, but I was also contemplating something like this.
It's affordable now.
Because Lucas Moura is going to play in that Spurs team.
He's the starting. Because what position is he playing in contest team now? Because I know they played.
So the last game he played, that Everton game, for me it looked like Lucas Moura and Son were the ones who were going more forward, and Harry Kane was just behind them playing in that pocket.
No, Ryan, I know
That's
I
what
know
I
why you
kinda
said
like.
this is crazy because look at his return so far.
I know,
You're crazy,
that's-
right?
that's
I'm
the
saying
entire
it, you're
Spurs team.
crazy.
but that's the Spurs team in general.
So why am I
But-
bringing someone who's gonna give me 2 points?
Here's the thing, right? Oh yeah, that's actually a good point. Now, given that this is a wildcard thing as well, would you actually look at we haven't even put a Spurs defender in here.
That's true.
Early one will put his Reguilon. That's it.
Or Emerson
Yeah.
Royal.
Emerson.
I mean, it's hard to be putting a team up. It's hard to. I mean, what are you going to replace Trent with him?
Yeah, are you gonna replace?
No, I
Cancelo?
wouldn't. I probably would replace Cancelo though with
Would you though?
I
regular.
Would
would
you
never.
replace
I would never
Cancelo?
do that.
No, but would you really?
I don't know how else am I gonna
That's
pick
what I'm saying.
Ronaldo?
Would you really replace Cancelo? He's the second highest scoring FPL player at the moment. Are you seriously gonna?
See, when you say it like that, I'm like, no.
That's what I'm saying. That three.
Yeah.
Maybe the truth is you can't have three wing backs.
No, I don't think it's possible
Well, all
to-
five of wing
because-
backs. You just need to have a central defender in there. Proper central defender.
This
That's
is my argument, right? Trent, James, and Cancelo have proved themselves.
Yeah.
So far, we're talking about,
And they will probably
potentials.
continue
They
to
will
prove them.
continue. We're all banking on them not to perform, so that we can bring in our Emerson Royals and regular ones to come and score wonders, 18-point weeks, which they haven't proved.
Yeah, fair.
But these guys have. Cancelo literally
But
just got 14 points last week, and here we are talking about dropping him to bring in.
I know, right? It's crazy. So I probably wouldn't do it. But then, but what that is saying is, then you probably go without Ronaldo at all. Otherwise, how are you going to Otherwise, you have to pick. So I guess here's the thing. You have to pick either a Spurs attacking asset or United attacking asset. You have to pick one basically in this. Well, I don't think you can go with both.
no.
It's gonna be tough.
It's just not possible.
It's tough.
And I guess if you go with a United asset, then I think I'm happy with upgrading like a Livramento to a Region.
Yep.
Um,
Well, okay. One more
if you
thing
go
we're
with-
talking about is price values
Yeah.
as well. So maybe some players this is where your team value comes into play.
Mm.
And
yeah, that's why I've used this team because of the fact that it's like 102. So it's probably a lower level compared to what we all have. But even then, this team value might cater to the vast majority,
Yeah.
I would say, compared to maybe some of us who we are more engaged or something.
yeah.
This team is not what we've been.
see, the only
engaged
thing
with
I
a
can
lot, right?
see is I'm hoping. See, the only positive news coming out of it's Robertson injury
Yeah.
is that if Robertson is injured and he's out, say the whole of December, I actually see an advantage in dropping Trent because you do have that
For
Tsimikas
Tsimikas.
factor. Do you know what I mean? And then you're clearing up a lot of funds, which will allow this dream team we're trying to assemble right now.
Yeah, otherwise it's not
I
possible.
still
not
wouldn't
possible.
do it. It's just some
Yeah.
people that
But I wouldn't drop Trent.
there's just some people that's just in my team that no matter what, that's Trent and Salah. It's without a
Yeah.
doubt.
The only time Salah is getting dropped is for Afghan. And even then, I'll probably find a way to maybe bench him instead of dropping
Yeah.
him. Depending on team value.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
Or depending on how much value if I hold like 0.5 in him, I'm probably not going to because then I won't be able to get him back.
Yeah.
Okay, we're stalling here. Come on, let's
True.
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
to them or United with a
Just
hard
go with Jesse Lingard, guys, and just leave it as it is. Just go
Yeah,
with
January he moves to West Ham and we're all
Lingard.
back.
Go with Lingard, safest option.
Yeah, can you go back in January just to give some?
Okay, who do we go with?
We
Pick right now.
choose.
If you were to pick a Spurs or United asset, at the moment I'm leaning sadly towards the Spurs asset, but
Yeah, I'd go to it Son right now. Cheapest one out of the lot we're talking about.
we can access back in for game weeks
And do
later.
you know what? Let's
whether
go for a
Ronaldo is
differential.
needed
Let's
or
go. I would actually, since this is the problem, right? If we can't afford all these players, we'll have to go for a mid-range option. Callum Wilson,
Yeah.
some of the Newcastle assets. Why not? Do you know what I mean? That's my sort of gut feel in the sense that because we literally can't afford players. That's
Yeah.
the problem we
Yeah,
have.
yeah.
We literally can't afford.
Well, we've got a lot of money now for two players, 14.5. That's more than enough.
Well, I assume you'll have an
What
Antonio
about
as well,
Bowen?
right?
Jared Bowen or Antonio.
Um,
Yeah, Antonio's good too.
I think you'll have a lot of people will already have an Antonio.
Let's go Antonio.
So I'll probably put him in there for now. Which means then you're left with like that.
Yeah, perfect. And then you throw in
Anyone.
there were so many options.
Rafinha, Smith Rowe.
What happened to
Trossard.
Ben Rama? Everyone was on his bandwagon right at the start.
I think he scored.
At this point, I mean, see, we removed Ben Rama at like game week 8 and he hasn't done much after. He's just had an assist. So I think we've been fine. It's just that Jared Bowen, who's looked really good recently. The thing with West Ham is any one of them can actually deliver, man.
Yeah.
So at any given game week, any of them can deliver. So that's the problem.
Right. So I reckon Bowen is an option. Trossard. I like Trossard. How's their fixtures?
Yeah, I also like Trossard as an option. Even though the fixtures are a bit this thing, as a fifth choice.
Yeah. I mean, not to say he's starting, right? And you put him when you want to. So
yeah. The other one is Rafinha, but the fixtures are not great. Smith Rowe is another option, but fixtures are getting a bit tougher.
Yeah, no, not that.
What's the status of the Southampton Armand Broja, whatever?
Oh yes, he's I think injured at the moment. I'm not really sure. Which is why Armstrong has also been a pretty good option as well. But Broja is a decent option. He's just been injured.
Yeah, he was crazy. He played a couple of games.
Yeah, he was crazy good when he started. Yeah, he's unfortunately injured. Anyone else? Midfielders?
No.
ESR has been good so far. Why not ride the ESR train?
No.
But Arsenal's fixtures, if you're wildcarding now, I'd probably think the ESR train has sailed away.
I say Trossard or Bowen or Rafinha.
I'd probably go Trossard over Bowen, given the fact that West Ham's fixtures for the next few are not great, but Brighton's are. Yeah.
Why not?
Cool. I think that's this thing, and that kind of like fits the squad. And we had this 4.5 Gerhard who's there just as an enabler, and if he does get fit, then maybe 1 or 2 times he might appear. If not,
Good.
Cool. So that's the wildcard team. Now, having said all of that, let me switch back. Let me probably switch back this time because I forgot to do it the last time. For anyone who's missed out, this was the Game Week 4 attack and Game Week 4 defense and Sanchez replacements, because I think I didn't show it on screen while we were discussing about it. So these were the slides for that. Now we did the wildcard team. Price changes. Let's quickly discuss about that. Let me bring it up. That's the Fantasy Football Scout members area. Price changes. Here we go. All right. Ramsdale looks like a price rise.
You serious?
Rich James. Looking on Livramento on there as well very soon. Gallagher, we've spoken about. Looks like another price rise as well. Callum Wilson. Looking like a price rise. I've highlighted here Son, Kane, and Ronaldo. None of them
Does
look
anyone
like
have
they're
Gallagher
in.
in? No?
Roy does, and Roy has benefited from it last game.
I've been wanting to get him for a long time. I think even the first game week when he had that brace, I think the first game.
Yeah, like we had discussions before as well about Gallagher.
He's Chelsea, isn't he? He's a Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea is the same. Yeah, their academy just produces crazy talent. Even Livramento is from that.
Is he?
So,
Yeah.
I think Gallagher is a good option.
Yeah.
He could be on a could be looking into getting him as well. Who knows? For Mbeumo, I might replace. You never know. And goodbye, Mbeumo.
Alright, please tell me, and I'll bring him in.
It's a disaster for you. You have him, you get him, he gets you no things.
Yeah.
You leave him, he kills it, and then you bring
Ryan,
him in.
please tell me you drop him so I can bring him in. Yeah, I want to captain him. You drop
After
him.
Newcastle game, I'll let you know.
Whenever Ryan drops
We'll bring him in.
Mbeumo, he scores.
Yeah, I don't want anything to do with him anymore. After the Newcastle game, I don't think I want him. But yeah, those are the players looking like price rise. In terms of price fall, I don't know if there's anyone. Oh well, Lukaku looks like he's going up. He was close to a fall. Backman, Werner, no one particular interest in that.
Ronaldo needs to go down so that we can.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to go down, unfortunately. The run is just too good. It was looking like going down, but yeah. So that's the price rises. Switch back to the final slide. FPL combined team, which we now have to kind of like discuss because we have let me reset this so that we don't cost ourselves this thing. We have 2 free transfers. Who do we bring in? Given that we've kind of just now done a wildcard.
Let's bring in Ronaldo this week. Why not get rid of Vardy for Ronaldo straight away? Since this team can afford Ronaldo.
I can't believe there was 4 million on the bank. Jesus.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
What are you people doing?
We planned this, right? We did plan.
Huh? No, we didn't. We were just avoiding making transfers because we were like, there wasn't anyone really good to bring in.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that we have Ronaldo there.
No. We just did a wildcard and no Ronaldo, but here we are. Because this is a differential team anyways. It's supposed to be a differential team for us.
Like my team. No Trent. The feels is real.
Oh yeah, no Trent.
No Trent.
But this team can not afford Trent as well.
Yeah. Neither can my team.
I think we wait off until the pressers and see if we can bring Tsimikas in.
Yeah, I don't see a need to put another one. You could probably do a 4-5-1 or 4-5.
Yeah, true. Should I make the transfer?
Yeah, I think so.
I think we captain.
Would you captain Ronaldo, right?
Watford, yeah.
I would do that for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a differential team.
100%. Because a lot of people, I feel like this team doesn't matter because even though they play Chelsea next week, who cares? But
doubled up on Brentford there, I see.
Ooh, strategic.
I know, we made a bad mistake.
Oh, it could be good. We never know. This week is the week.
Yeah.
I know, right?
It's a very shoddy Newcastle defense.
So that we'll probably go with 3-4-3.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Easy.
All right. Looks good. That's basically it. Managed to do an hour. Thank you all for watching. And thank you to the guys as well. Hopefully everyone has a good green arrow week.
That's what I want, a green arrow. But
yeah.
Too many red arrows.
Sean can see a green arrow for a few weeks.
Three red arrows in a row. 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So bad.
So we'll hopefully get a green arrow for all of us. And yeah, a busy fixture period upcoming. So we'll have you guys covered during that time.